have a secret. Well, maybe it's not so much a secret, but something I've not shared with our pros because I didn't think you were ready just yet. But I think it's time. We recently added a monthly expense of $160 to our budget for something that is 100% unnecessary. You know, I don't feel bad about it one bit, actually. Before anyone starts tearing me apart in the comments, I know that those people aren't true pearls anyways. Hear me out. I'll tell you what the expense is in just a second, but first you need to understand that I believe you need to be spending your money where you value the most. You work hard for your money. Your budget needs to be set up in a way that allows you to intentionally put your cash towards achieving your goals. Without this, your money is going to disappear with nothing to show and your dreams left in the dust. Let's make sure that this does not happen to you. Welcome back, Pearls. I'm Brittany, and this is Pennies into Pearls, where you can come to find inspiration to take control of your family finances once and for all and still have a lot of fun while you're doing it. This is where you are going to learn how to be intentional with your spending and stop wondering, where did it go? If you want to stop living that paycheck to paycheck life, click the subscribe button down below so you don't miss any of the real life tips that I share here to help you make that happen. All right, now let's make sure that you aren't letting your money wander away without getting you closer to your dreams and goals for your family. The first place you need to start is where your family values most. I'm going to use that word a lot, value, because that's unique to everybody. We all value different things. But what do you and your family value? You first need to decide, what does your family value? What does that mean? The things in your family's life that you find most important. That could be your faith, living a debt-free, self-reliant life, spending time together, travel and adventure, time at home, growing your family, kids' sports, a nicely decorated home, or maybe something like trying new foods is something you really enjoy doing because the quality time you have with your spouse. The nice thing is that there is no wrong answer. This list will most likely change over time as new seasons of your life come and go, and you'll be able to adjust your financial action plan in order to accommodate those changes. So don't stress out too much on this part. It can change. But for now, do a brainstorming session and write it all down. Big or small, what are some of the core values you and your family have? In my online course, 30-Day Family Finance Rescue, I walk you through this process in deeper detail, showing you how to convert your values into goals and then into actionable steps to incorporate into your goal-based budget, how to work those goals into a current budget that you already have. And if you don't know how to do that, I help you there too. This is what you need to do in order to start taking action and actually start working towards your goals and stop living that paycheck to paycheck life. I have a link in the description if you want more information on how you can rescue your family finances by enrolling in my online course. Now, the next thing we need to think about is, does your spending reflect what you value most? Now that you have a clear picture of where your values lie, compare this information to your spending. Yes, your spending needs to reflect what you value. Track your spending for the last 3 months. Does your spending do exactly that? Does your spending reflect your values? Or do the results show a pattern of unintentional spending? Trips through the drive-thru and multiple stops at Starbucks add up quick and most likely aren't getting you any closer to achieving those goals that reflect what you value most. Now, on the other hand, let's say your family holds travel at a high value. You decide to intentionally save the money spent on fast food and put that savings towards your next trip to like Disneyland or Thailand or Costa Rica. Oh, whatever you want. You just have to be intentional. You hold travel at a higher value than you do at eating out, so your spending now reflects exactly that. Your cash is not unlimited. I mean, like, that would be really cool, but it's not. It is your job to make sure that it goes where you really want it to go. Now, what makes this possible? How can you do this? What makes living a value-based budget possible? There's two things. having $1,000 to $2,000 emergency savings, and living a debt-free life. Those are just the basics. There's higher level things that we can do, but this is where we want you to start. Once you have these major accomplishments in place, the doors to achieving some seriously amazing dreams for your family just fly open. If you haven't yet done so, make building up an emergency fund and becoming debt-free your top priorities. Without these two things, you'll keep falling back in the paycheck to paycheck rut. Now, the cool thing with this is that there should be zero guilt. So, speaking of no guilt, are you ready to hear what we're wasting our money on? Hubby and I decided it was time for us to start investing in a house cleaner. I'm feeling a little nervous about sharing this with you guys. We now pay to have someone come once every 4 weeks to do all the deep cleaning tasks that we just never got around to doing. I call it an investment because since turning my blog into a business, I have needed to be a lot more intentional with my time. We now have the income available, that's a huge part of it, to make the decision of where to place the additional value. Because I work at home, I can't focus on my work if my house is a disaster. The advice has been given to me more than a few times as an at-home entrepreneur to invest in getting help around the house. After talking it over with hubby and prayer, we decided that this was the next step for growing my business. And you know what? It has been amazing. I preach it to everyone. I am now able to concentrate so much better when it's time for me to sit down and work during my very limited working hours. I'm not distracted by the dust building up on my blinds or the crumbs and the cracks of my table. Not many people, it's so good. Now, not many people in our real life know about this, but from the few that do, I can almost feel the judgment through their words or even the words that aren't said. At first, that did affect me, but remember, we're talking about no guilt here. But then I realized they don't have the clear picture of the path hubby and I have set for our family. They don't understand how this decision fits into what we value. So that's okay, but we do. We know how it works and into our plan because we have that financial action plan set in place. If you are preparing for your future and still have the cash set aside, then I just say go for it. Don't feel bad. You spend that money where you value most. Now, I want you to keep your eyes on your own paper. The last thing I need to chat with you about on this topic is to make sure that you are keeping your eyes on your own paper. Don't pay attention or judge others for the way that they're spending their money. You don't know what their plan is. They don't know what your plan is. You don't know where their values lie. What you value might not be the same as what your neighbors value. You just worry about yourself. Make sure you are spending your money where you value most, and you will get there. It's time to take action. Let's get you moving on this today. Right now, find a piece of paper or a Google Doc or a notes app in your phone. Sit by yourself, or if you have a spouse, do this together. Then tonight, when the chaos of the day has settled, or if you have a peaceful moment right now, that would be even better. There are only 2 things you need to get done today. Remember, we're taking action while you're feeling motivated and moving with that momentum. Brainstorm your values and track your spending. That's it. Then compare the two. What do you find? I want to hear all about it. Let's chat about your dreams, your values, and your spending habits that you just uncovered in these exercises. Let's chat about all of that down in the comments. Don't forget to check the iCard and all these videos that are popping up around me. I have lots of great motivational, inspirational tips for you guys to keep that momentum going and make change for your family and start incorporating those goals into your goal-based budget. And don't forget to check the description box down below. That is where I've linked everything and anything I talked about in today's video. Thanks you guys so much for watching. I will talk to you very soon. Bye.